Hello, good evening and welcome to the Little Farmer's Farm. On today's episode we're going to be doing part 2 of our autumn winter allotment jobs mini-series, and in this episode we're going to be converting a ridiculously overgrown, mangled and terrible bed, which is 16 feet by 4 feet, into a fantastic, luscious and beautiful grow bed nirvana in readiness for next season. So please comment, like and subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and also hit that bell notification button if you really do like what we do and want to see more from the Little Farmer's Farm. You won't miss another exciting episode then. Okay. Alright. See you in a bit. Alright. The sun has got his hat on, or rather his rose to greet the day. Rose to greet the day. And there's plenty to do. You're never short of a job down here on the allotment. And today I've picked a bed, I've selected a bed, the worst of the beds, to get straight, tidy and sorted and weeded. And this is it. I think Mick's just arrived, the magical one. So I'm going to get that all cleared out and sorted. All that netting put away, all the canes put away. I'm going to leave those in for the time being, because they're still doing their job. The birdies are picking out the seeds and everything. As you can see around here, we've got mushrooms growing. Look at that. But yeah, the birds are coming eating the seeds, as you can see. Well, that's got to be sorted, that bed, and that's got to be done today. So I've taken out the sort of critter protection in the form of the netting that was around the bed, and also the sort of pea climbing grid fence that was down the middle. And I've wrapped them all up nicely actually over here for storage over winter. Sorry about the wind, guys. It's picking up a little bit today. So yeah, that's the pea climbing fence, and that was the netting that we put around there to protect them from pigeons and critters getting on. So they'll be stored away in the black shed. All this stuff that you're looking at here, all the weed, I've got to get rid of, which is going to be a bit of a job because there's some dandelion there that's going to be quite deep rooted. So it's probably going to take me about a half an hour to dig it all out. Again, apologies for the wind. I need to get a windproof microphone, I think. But because I pegged down the critter fence with the metal tent pegs, I'm going to go around there and collect all of those up, and also those labels, the plastic labels that we've got around the sides. I'll be cleaning those up and reusing them just by using a bit of nail polish remover, and we'll get them back to white. And that's what we're cracking on with right now. Any plastics that I find, I'm obviously going to separate them from the general waste, the vegetable matter, before we transport them down to the tipping point. Okay. Whew. That's an hour and a half of my life I'll never get back, that. And it reminded me so much of work. Whew. Took some digging out, that. There were about 20 or 30 dandelion roots in there, and loads of other like sort of plantain, dock leaf, nettle. But it's my own fault for not getting it done sooner, that. If you prick them out while they're young, you're laughing, but let them get established. And the reason they did get established is because they were inside those sort of cage nets that we had around, so there's nothing much I could have done with it, to be honest with you. But it's all done, it's all out there now. A tiller's been over it. A tiller brings any wayward little weeds to the top as well. Like that one. That's just a bit of leaf, I think, that. But yeah, you can pick out as much as you can of it. You'll never get absolutely every one of them, but the more the merrier. Okay. Now onto that, we're going to put some manure. We're going to put a scattering of the 6X condensed farmyard manure on top of that, the shop bought stuff. I'm not putting the fresh manure on that. I'm going to put the well rotted until we can get our own manure well rotted. That's what I'm going to be doing there. And then a couple of them compost bags just as a mulch over the top. And then Bob's your uncle. Okay, so that's had a good sprinkling, about 1/6 of a bag of the 6X. That's what it is, the 6X. It's really dark, look at it. Really dark, rich, concentrated farmyard manure. 6X. If you look at that, the nitrogen and phosphorus and potassium levels are all in there, and it's a good all-rounder really. But because we're growing brassicas in there, they'll certainly appreciate that nitrogen and also the potassium and phosphorus. Potash, potassium, phosphorus. The K stands for the potassium. It doesn't stand for kryptonite, the K. It's just the chemical symbol for it. The potassium and potash. So that's had a good top dress in there with that. I'm going to, as I say, I'm going to get a couple of bags of that. I'm going to spread that around, mill it all in with the tiller, who's over there. And the jobs are good. And I'll just show you the front of this 6X packet so you know what to look out for. This is in the UK, boys and girls. We get the Vitax 6X Super Strength Natural Plant Feed plus Soil Conditioner. Organic goodness from UK farms. What about that, eh? There's your stats. So with your compost, it's just basically, it's a low nutrient compost that you get in the bags like that. If you look on the back of them, actually, you won't be able to see an NPK count on that. As you can see, there's young Michael. So there's nothing on that at all in the way of feed for it. So that's why we've added in the 6X, to give it that nutritional bounce. So what you do with the bags is you pick the bags up and drop them on the sides a couple of times, give it a roll around so it breaks up the compost inside the bag and decompacts it, and you can spread it then on your beds. I'm going to put 3 of those bags on the beds. Might get Mike to do it.
Got some of them from what you told me.
Have we been Paul Green?
Yeah, I just did, man, yeah.
We get them from Paul Green on Church Lane, Charlotte Richard. Mike's just been down there.
Belted.
Top banana. So that's going to be going onto the top of the bed. I'm going to work it in then with the till of the un. So it's a good mix through the growing medium, through the loam. Call it loam, that soil. A good rich loam. And that's the Paul Green compost on the inside of the bag. Once you've bashed it around and decompressed it, it's quite loose. So we're going to add that then to the beds. I hope this rain stops. It's getting on my nerves now. If it keeps on raining, the levee's gonna break. So you just tip the bag onto the top. This is what I do anyway, on one side. And then roughly rake it with Exhibit A so that it covers about 1 inch or so of the top of the soil. So I'm going to drag that across with the rake, and then I'm going to use this to get it flat. And then it's all going to be covered up then with the either cardboard boxing, flat sheets of cardboard boxing, or the black weed membrane. Because I've got both. I've got a lot of black weed membrane in the shed up there, so I might well use that. Might as well. But that won't be today because it's peeing down. I'm going to put all of those away as well tomorrow. Those canes. Size them so they're all relatively the same size, and then tie them up with some garden string and store them in the black shed. But yeah, we'll just finish chopping this bed off now, and there you are, perfection. Like I say, once I can get those sunflowers out, it'll be completed. I'll add a bit more of this 6X around there, because obviously I've not 6X'd that as yet, but I will be doing. And yeah, grow bed nirvana, boys and girls. Ideal for brassicas. The tent's going to come off that net for next year and be transported over there for the brassicas. Okay, okay. Come springtime. Okay, so from a very damp, wet, miserable Eden, I've been Guru Murphinda. You've been fantastic, fragrant and beautiful as ever if you're a lady, virile, strong and macho if you're a man, and if you're in between, you're in between. Alright boys and girls, so Saturday today, don't get too drunk. If I don't see you through the week, I'll see you through the window, and remember, we love you all. Take care now. Enjoy the tips with the bed, and good growing. A happy harvest, and namaste to you all. Bye bye now. Won't switch off again because my hands are wet.